going on, fight fans? What's going on, Sweet Dreams Nation? What's been up, man? Been a minute. I haven't really talked to y'all since my last fight. I had a really, really long camp. I signed the contract October 5th. Didn't have to fight till January 18th. So, I had to take a little bit of time away just to chill out, spend time with my family, spend time with my kids and things like that. Went back home to Michigan, had a good time back there, and just been kind of relaxing, just enjoying life. Obviously the fight didn't go the way that I wanted it to. Got to give a shout out to Jiri. He made great adjustments. He looked really good. Brought in some new elements to his game. That was good to see. Wasn't able to get the win. Ultimately, just had fun out there. I really, really had a good time. Enjoyed the fight. Had fun while I was in there. To going back and forth. It was a war. It was a war. Went back and forth. Former champions. And hopefully we deliver. I appreciate all the love and support that's been outpoured and things like that. People reaching out and letting me know how much they enjoyed the fight. Ultimately, that's the goal. I want to dominate. I want to win, but I want to put out a good product. That's a big thing for me. So at least I was able to do that. Thoughts on the fight mostly. Just good opponent. Haven't really been able to be in the fights as much as I want to over the last couple years since I won the title due to injury and things like that. I felt like comfortability was a little off. Didn't really get into my rhythm. Didn't really get into my flow of things the way I could. Still showed up. I'm still game. I'm still one of those guys like that. Whenever it comes to fighting, but would have liked to have been a little bit more locked in, things of that nature, and aside from some other issues I had going on and things, but ultimately you can't take nothing away from Jiri. He made good adjustments. He obviously was improved in the fight, and he did what he needed to do to win the fight, so you got to give a shout out and tip your hat to him in that realm. Man, it's been a lot of things going on since then, since that fight night. We just got a shit ton of fights just announced, absolute bangers on tap. Really, really excited for those. Really, really, really excited for those. I want to get into some of those. We got an exciting card this weekend. An absolutely amazing banger of a card. It's one of those fight nights that I think carries the entertainment of a pay-per-view, and such and things like that. So I just wanted to get into that, kind of talk about that and break those down with you, as well as talk and give my thoughts on some of the other fights. So we're going to start with the fight breakdowns. I'm going to get some shout outs through the prelims, but ultimately I'm going to focus on the main card. Off rip from the gate, got a 205 banger. Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael. Don't know how to say his last name. Don't know who the guy is, but I know Bukauskas comes to bang. He's an exciting fighter. He comes to take heads off. He mixes it up pretty well, but ultimately, I believe he's a stand-up guy and he's looking to end the fight standing on the feet. So that should be a good one. Got Javid Basharat on tap. Always excited. Always getting a high level and a great, amazing skill whenever Javid steps in there. Stepping up against Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone is a fan favorite. One of those guys that comes to banging good looks to go out on the shield, or put somebody down on theirs. And it's gonna be a good one. Malik, shout out Malik. He fighting Paulo Costa. The feature prelim, Ian Kutalaba versus Ibo Aslan. Absolute banger. All right, I'm going to say this right now. Absolute banger. I'm calling this potential fight of the night. Ian comes to put it all on the line. And Bio, I'm gonna say Bio. Ibo, my bad. Ibo. His game too. He comes for knockouts. He's got a lot of knockouts. I believe he's got like a lot of first round knockouts. So I'll give a little thoughts on how I see this. So between the two of these, I see Ian as more of the technical striker. Ibo Ibo is a powerhouse. He hits hard. If he connects clean with you, I believe he can put you down. But I believe Ian is the more technical, quicker, and has more of a ability, sharper and more ability to land combos. In this one for Ian, I'd say that'd be his route to victory. Staying tight, staying technical, landing those sharp, tight, fast combos on the inside, and being technically sound. Ibo's gonna have to keep his hands up. He can't just look to try to take Ian's head off, because Ian does have fairly decent head movement when he decides to use it. And whenever Ibo misses, he misses big, and that could leave him very, very open to get countered and be put away in this fight. Moving on to the first fight on the main card, Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Julius Walker, I believe this is his debut fight for Julius Walker. I was able to go and check out some of his fights. The guy bangs. He comes in, he throws a lot. He will mix it up and take you down to the ground as well. Against Alonzo, I believe that's the takedowns will be a little bit more of a difficult task, just to get him to the ground and control him. He's an explosive, strong, athletic guy, and short, stocky. I believe that could be a problem. That could be a little bit of a problem. 6-0 though. Julius Walker looks game. How do I see this fight? So for Julius, I say just kind of stay back and be patient. Let Alonzo come to him. Alonzo doesn't have the best defense and things when closing range. His hands aren't always up. He kind of lunges a lot and leaves himself out of position and open. And I believe that's something that can get him caught. It has got him caught. I believe that's what happened in his last fight against, I believe, what's his name, Carlos Ulberg. I believe that was what ended his streak. He just tried to come in and just take his head off. He hit him with a good shot, then left himself wide open to get countered and ate a really pretty nasty counter off of that. Walker kind of bulldozing, kind of full steam ahead a little bit himself, but he mixes it up a little bit more. He's a little bit more, I'll say, considerate of the space that he keeps and the distance and the range and things like that. He does mix in combos. Actually, whenever he does throw, Lonzo's more of a one-shot, power shot type of guy. So I believe Julius, mixing those combos, let him come to you, be patient, and capitalize off the mistakes. Lonzo, I believe his key to victory would be to corner him, kind of back him into the corner, and then unload those big shots and those combos. So that way, whenever he's more so shelling up, whenever you're exploding into those power shots, that kind of leave him exposed. If he's backed up into the corner, into the cage, I believe you will have a little bit more. He'll have less options to throw back at you. That's how I see that one. Next fight on it, we got Gene Silva versus Melski Badarian. I don't know. Not sure. Absolute banger though. I've been expecting this fight to play out on the feet. I'm gonna call him MB. MB is like he's a game fighter. He throws. He's explosive. He likes to mix it up, but he's more of a brawler. He really, really likes to get into brawls and in the 50-50 fights. For the most part, I believe whenever he's in the midst of throwing, I believe he gives his opponent a chance to catch him as much as he catches them as well. And Gene Silva, we've seen he can just be a bully. He can be a bully. He can walk you down. He can mix it up and play a counter striker. He's got a really, really complete package as far as a striker. And we've seen his work in the clinches not that bad as well. I believe for Gene, just kind of walk him down and impose your will. Don't make any big mistakes. And work behind a solid jab, good body shots. And I believe his power is just going to be a lot for MB to kind of take on. For MB, I believe he's got to be fast. I believe he does have the faster initial speed on the in and out, and footwork and movement and things like that. I believe he is the faster guy in that regard. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think Silva's kind of gonna have the ability to kind of bully this one, but we'll see. It's a fight. Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. I don't know. So one thing I did see when I said is we know Rob has a beautiful jab. He's got one of the best jabs in the business. He's got really, really good boxing, and he's got decent, really good lateral movement. I believe that lateral movement and that fast jab followed behind some very, very solid combos could be a huge problem for this Gene Matsumoto guy. For the most part, what I've seen from Gene, he gets hit with some very, very solid shots. He's very, very open. He's not really hard to hit, hard to find, but the dude is tough. He sits in when he gets hit and he fires back. He definitely fires back whenever he gets hit. So that could be one thing. And he has a tendency at time to fire back with combos, which is actually absolutely a phenomenal thing for him. And I believe will pay dividends for him. I believe if he can stay in Rob's face and keep Rob on the back foot while countering his shots. Whenever he hits you with that jab, roll in and throw back that two. A hard two behind that, I believe could have Rob in some trouble. But I believe that's what he's got to do. He's got to kind of stay in Rob's face and keep him on the back foot. Rob has a phenomenal jab, so he'll be able to fire that jab off the back foot. But a jab against you being able to walk him down and get a lot of things off, I believe won't be a thing. Will play more so in his favor. For Rob's gonna have to work behind the jab, but he's gonna have to get into a flow of his other shots. He's gonna have to find more than just the jab. He's gonna have to use the jab to find a range, to set the tone, and then behind that, open up and find combinations and open up and hit him with other shots and different shots, things that kind of deter that forward pressure and him, that confidence that he comes forward with, that all right, you can give me your shot, I'm gonna take your shot, but you can't take what I throw back at you. He's gonna have to give him something that he's not gonna want to take and that he's not gonna feel that he can just walk through and just bully him from. And that's how I see that. Moving on to the next fight, we got my brother, Brendan Allen fighting Fluffy Hernandez. Incredible fight. This is an absolute banger. Fluffy Hernandez is durable, tough, well-rounded. He can catch you, hit you with big shots. He's got good striking. And then whenever he has you hurt, he can go to the ground and he can finish you on the ground and he can make it a nightmare for you in the grappling department as well. Now, against a Brendan Allen, I believe Brendan has the advantage in the grappling realm. In this fight, I don't see Fluffy being able to get a submission on Brendan. Brendan's jiu-jitsu and ground game is very, very solid and very, very sound. And he has an underrated stand-up and striking game. He has an underrated stand-up and striking game by himself also. In the last fight, I believe against Imavall, I believe Brendan Allen had the advantage in the striking. I believe he truly, his strikes were landing on Imavall and causing him serious, serious problems. But he was, I believe he just didn't have the confidence in it. Whenever it got into a little bit of maybe a back and forth and things, Brendan's like, I can grapple, so I'm just going to lean on that. And he was kind of selling out for the takedown, and I believe that kind of got him tired and played dividends. In this, I believe kind of the same thing can be a factor. I don't believe he's outmatched striking, and I know he's not outmatched on the ground. So I believe I would like to see Brendan be confident in his striking, work behind his jab, and work behind his striking. Brendan is really good at hitting with that initial shot, and then dealing with what comes back, and then countering right off of that. I believe that can be very, very huge for Brendan if he's able to, that initial shot, draw out of Hernandez. He needs to draw him out, land quick initially with a good jab, fast, and then whenever he comes forward, make that slip, that duck, that dip, and get right back into your flow of strikes off of that. I believe the thing for Brendan in this will be chaining and flow. A really, really good flow will be good for Brendan in this fight. For Fluffy, he's gonna have to stay in Brendan's face and look to land that big shot. One thing about Brendan, he does get hit with shots. Sometimes he has a tendency to fall in love with a really good fight and get to stay in that fight and stay in that pocket and stay in that fire, and he eats some shots because of it. That's what Hernandez should look to do. Get him up into the cage, kind of force him into firing off some wild shots, and then try to make a counter and try to land something substantial from there. He's gonna have to put a big shot on him early on in order to I believe to kind of find his way to take over this fight. That's how I see that one. In the main event, former double champ Henry Cejudo taking on Song Yudong. Always exciting. All right, how do I see this fight? So, Song Yudong coming off the loss to Petr Yan, and I believe the one thing that I've learned from Yan, I watched him live whenever he fought in the Apex, and then I think I watched him the fight before that. Song Yudong has got good hands, he's got good flow, he's got good combinations. He doesn't have the best footwork. He don't have the best footwork. He tends to lunge. He tends to kind of overextend and kind of rush and put himself in bad positions to where he can't really retreat, and he leaves himself open to take shots. This is something that Henry can take advantage of. I believe ideally Henry would like to take advantage of it by taking him to the ground and putting him on his back and controlling him from there. But I see ways where if you a good slip, a good pull, he's wide open for some shots. And Henry has fairly good boxing. Henry has good counter combinations. I believe Henry counter with combinations whenever Song Yudong explodes in, and he's able to defend or deal with those strikes, and then flow back with combinations, hit him with some combinations, and then flow in and take down from there. I believe Henry could wear on him. Song showed that in a 5-round fight he can be tired. This will be 5 rounds. In the later rounds, I believe Henry's gas tank is more fit for the 5 rounds of these two. But Song Yudong is a physical freak, bro. He's a physical freak for that weight class. He's very strong for that weight class. He's very explosive. He's got thick legs, and he's got a solid build for that weight class. For Song, I believe just kind of stalking, getting him down, good takedown defense, and put Henry Cejudo on that back foot. He's got to get him on that back foot to where he's able to unload some of those powerful combos and put some punches on him from there. Because he does have the power to chin Henry, put him down, hurt him, rock him, and all of those things. I believe that Song can knock Henry out. I mean, he can knock anybody out, especially at that weight class. The dude hits like a truck. Henry is more of a piece you up combination fighter. He can hit you clean. We haven't really seen it since he's came back out of retirement. You know, he hasn't really been on that timing that he had before, like where he caught Dominic Reyes, the timing where he caught TJ Dillashaw. We haven't really seen that timing from him since he's been back. But if he gets back to that, and he can catch anybody, clip anybody clean, and put them down. And as well as he's an Olympic wrestler. So, yeah, I believe Henry should flow his wrestling in, but also lean on those combos, lean on that boxing, lean on those hands, especially whenever you make a miss and you're able to put some good shots on him and then put him down and frustrate him a little bit. I believe that'll really, really work out in his favor and do well for him. And Song just got to kind of corner him, put him in that space where he can put that power on him. And yeah, that's how I see that fight for the most part. Man, it's been a while, man. I missed y'all, man. Hope y'all miss me too. But no, we got some crazy ass announcements that just came out over the last day. Absolute bangers. We got Brandon Moreno taking on, what's this guy's first name? Arce. What's his first name? The one that just fought for the title. Anyway, banger. Moreno versus Arce. Absolute banger. Going to be one of those fights that you don't want to miss. That's going down March 29th. Going to be solid card. Now, a bunch of pay-per-view drops for a bunch of absolute bangers that we've been waiting on. So Bilal, the champ, my brother, Bilal, remember the name Bilal Muhammad has his first title defense coming up. Jack Dalla Maddalena. Wow. in Montreal. I believe it's in Montreal on May 10th. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. It's good to see Bilal back, healthy, ready to go. One of the best in shape cardio machines that we have inside the UFC. And Jack is hungry. Jack is a wrecking ball. He's a machine. He's got good boxing. He's looking to take guys' heads off as usual. And I believe this is going to be an absolute banger and a great fight. Not sure what happened to Shavkat. I thought this would have been the Shavkat fight. From what we all understood after Shavkat beat Ian Gary, that was supposed to be the title eliminator. And absolutely whoever came out on the other side of that was supposed to get a title fight. Shavkat came out on the end of that, but Jack is getting the title fight. Jack was booked against Leon. I'm assuming the Shavkat and Muhammad fight fell apart. I'm assuming there's something on Shavkat's hand. Maybe he's got an injury. Maybe he's got personal issues, whatever it is. But we got this banger on here instead. And I'm excited for it. Also, on the same card, we have Valentina Shevchenko taking on, what's her first name? Farhat? What's her first name? Not sure what her first name is. Whatever. Good fight, solid fight. Valentina moving on beyond the, what's her name? Damn, I'm forgetting everybody's name, man. This shit crazy. But Valentina moving on from her. What's the girl's name that she was just? Alexa Grasso, from the Alexa Grasso saga. We seen 3 fights with that. Now she's coming in to take on the next challenger, and we gonna see. It's gonna be a good fight. I believe Farhat's gotten by a lot on physical, on just being physically stronger and a physically better athlete than a lot of her opponents, which I don't believe that'll be the case in this one. It's an absolute banger, man. I can't wait to see it. Oh, crazy news. Ilya Topuria vacates the featherweight title to move up and pursue a title at 155 at lightweight, further expanding the lightweight pool. Already a stacked weight class, has an absolute superstar now, another absolute superstar in their midst coming in, and in his stead, Alexander Volkanovski will fight against Diego Lopez for the title. Whoo! Mr. Dynamic Diego Lopez taking on the legend in Alexander Volkanovski. This is an absolute banger, man. This is an absolute banger. This is a must-see fight. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be tapped in. I cannot wait for this fight. This is an incredible fight. Incredible fight. Lopez versus Topuria would have been an incredible fight. This is going to be an incredible fight. And, yeah, man, I just can't wait to see it. I'm going to give breakdowns on these fights later and get my thoughts on them. I just kind of wanted to get my initial reactions to them. Then after that, we got Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Absolute banger. It's a huge, huge jump for Paddy in competition from where he's fought and against a guy that's dangerous, an absolute dangerous, explosive powerhouse in Michael Chandler. That's somebody that he's not gonna be able to physically just bully the way he's been, because Paddy is a big 155er. He was a lot bigger than Bobby in that last fight. He was able to impose his will physically over Bobby. I believe he'll have a little bit more problem of that with Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's more explosive and just a little bit stronger, a little bit more physically imposing. Absolute banger. Can't wait for this. We got Yair Rodriguez against Pitbull making his debut from Bellator. Absolute bangers. One hell of a way to jump into the ranks of the UFC. I can't wait to see it. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Perez. Crazy banger. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, one close in the rankings behind where I sit. Absolute banger. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson signed the same night as me. 50K, you know it's always love. Absolute banger. Man, bro, we getting spoiled. We absolutely getting spoiled as fight fans for these. We also got Leon Edwards, Sean Brady taking place in London on the March 22nd. absolute bangers coming up, man. We got the Magomed and Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira fight coming up in a couple weeks. Another absolute banger. Fight that a lot of people that leaves a lot of questions. Leaves a lot of questions and a huge test for the champion in Alex Pereira. We're gonna see what he can do with it in those fights and things like that. And we're gonna see if Ankalaev can finally cross that threshold of being a champion. We've seen him fight for a title once. We're gonna see what he's gonna do again. I'm gonna do a breakdown into that so we can get a little bit more in depth in that. And yeah, man, it's a great time to be a fight fan. Absolute madness going on. We had a great fights to start the year off. Great fights looking forward into the year, into the foreseeable future. And I'm here for it. Can't wait to be back in action with you guys. Ready to get after, ready to get on my things. You know, as I said, I know the fight didn't go the way that I wanted it to. I was able to just go out and put it all on the line. No, just get out there, get back in there. Being in there was just like a realization of just a blessing, bro. It's a blessing of me being able to live the life that I do, be able to do the thing that I do, have the job and the career that I love and enjoy it. I wish that it hadn't been stopped. That's one thing I will say. I know it was a good shot. I went down and he was swinging a finish, but I felt like I had covered up, pinpointed the position where he was punching, and pushed back into him, kind of knocked him off his balance. Was doing kind of the same things I did earlier in the fight. Excuse me. To get up and I don't know. The ref just felt like it was time to stop it. It was time for him to step in. Didn't really care for it. Kind of like the Izzy fight. The week or two after my fight. I did watch that. Even though Izzy has given his thoughts on it and he can see where it will stop, and also I can see where it will stop, but I felt like the former champ was working his way. He got caught, he got hit with a good shot, and you let him deal with some adversity or go out on the shield. I would have liked to go out on my shield. If he's going to put me out, that it is what it is at that point. You know, I know what I signed up for, and I believe that was an opportunity that I would have liked to have had. As I said, you know, dealing with things and stuff like that, going into the fight, absolutely no excuse. I felt like I was in a position to come out and get my hand raised. I banked it all on myself, went out there, and ultimately I just came up short. And it sucks, bro. It sucks. It sucks understanding that I have some things and some work to get to where I want to be. You know, I've been focused on getting back to where I was. I believe kind of like that maybe that might have hampered some things in the growth, you know, in certain areas or certain things. But now it's all locked in on growth, getting better, pushing forward, moving on to the next, and showing that I'm still that guy and still up there on that level. Can't wait. I'll be back in front of y'all soon. Nothing but love. Appreciate everybody that's shown the love, showing the appreciation for me going out there and bleeding for y'all. And yeah, man, love. Sweet Dreams Nation, Fight Nation.